Good morning to all of our viewers. Welcome to Morgan Hill in Northern California. It is Silicon Valley Strikers v Los Angeles Lashings at Tariqa. Strikers won the toss and elected to bowl first this morning. Beats the batsman. That is a quick delivery, rebounds off the keeper's gloves. Batsman steal a bye. End of the third over, Lashings finish with 10 for none. It is a middled pull shot by Khalid Sharan. Finds the boundary. Kamran Hotak dropping just a touch shot, allowing Khalid Sharan to rock back and unleash the pull shot. His second boundary of the morning so far. This time an attempted cut shot, no contact on that occasion though. Hotak, the left arm spinner, is operating with a 5-4 field for Khalid Sharan, 5 fielders on the offside. This time it's launched over mid-wicket. There is a man in the deep to protect that one. Only a single this time. Kamran's an under-19 Afghanistan player who captained the national side for Afghanistan at the under-19 level. This time it's been driven down the ground by Raghav. That is a boundary. That is his first boundary. 2 boundaries in this over already. This has turned out to be a productive over for the Lashings with a couple of balls to go. This time guided into the offside to the man at point, dot ball. This time launched aerially over mid-wicket. Nobody is going to stop that one. That is the first 6 of the morning. Mayank Karaga with a statement shot on that occasion. That was looped up right into his arc, stepped forward and said, "I'll take some of that." That was deposited a few yards beyond the mid-wicket fence. That is a big appeal for leg before, and up goes the finger. Netrwalkar strikes. We hope to get a replay on that occasion. That was speared by Netrwalkar from left arm around the wicket. Beat the attempted shot. Kalicharan departs for 12 of 19, opening partnership yielding 26. Zahid Zakil, the man at number 3. This time a left-hander. Netrwalkar has switched to left arm over the wicket now. He's got a slip in place. Bashed into the wicket, that sails over the head of the batter. Wide signal by umpire for height. A lot of carry on that occasion. It was at least a couple of feet above the batter's head. Zahid Zakil is a 25-year-old from Afghanistan. He is a batting all-rounder. He also happens to be an interpreter for the US Army. Oh, he's bowled him, all ends up. That is one hell of a riposte after that wide ball. Bowled that previous delivery shot to get the batter on the back foot, this time spear it foolish. That was pretty quick, found middle and off stump. Stumps are in disarray. Zakil has to make the long walk back for duck of one legal ball. Netrwalkar amongst the batters early in this contest. That is pace and a little bit of curve away from the left-hander's attempted shot. A lot of skill on display from Netrwalkar on that occasion. Lashings slumped to 27 for 2 in the middle of the 5th over. Looking through Zakil's stats, at least during half of his innings, he gets out inside his first 10 balls. A bit of a tentative starter, and that occasion, Netrwalkar cutting that innings short again, unfortunately for Zakil. The bright blue jerseys of strikers slowly begin to disperse after converging for that celebration. 3 more balls to go in this Netrwalkar over. Can he do some more damage? Strikers are fresh from a close win last evening. They won off the last ball against San Ramon Grizzlies. So they would be buoyant with that tie to win, and they would be buoyant with these 2 strikes. A right-hander in the middle. He switches to left arm around again. Good pace and carry. Oohs and ahs from the fieldsman. We're waiting for the new batter's name to populate on screen. Oh, there's. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! It's all happening in the middle. First off, he was hustled by pace. He might have just got a little bit of body on that. The ball was trickling back towards the stumps. Hundal trying vainly to deflect it away from the stumps. Unfortunately, that hit the stumps. The LEDs went off, and the strikers are celebrating again for the third time this over. Lashings in all sorts of bother right now, 27 for 3. Hundal departs for naught. Looking at a replay there, it hit the body first, and with all the momentum on the ball, it dribbled back towards the stumps. Desperate attempt by the batter to deflect it, but in vain. Netrewalkar's pace is doing a fair bit of talking, a fair bit of damage at the moment. Ajayveer Hundal, the 19-year-old Canadian batter, has to walk back. Oh, he's bowled him again! This has turned out to be a monstrous over from Netrewalkar. He's got 4 wickets. And there is a ball to go, mind you. Harmeet Singh unable to negotiate the pace of Netrewalkar. Again, the stumps are lighting up. Saurabh Netrewalkar bagged 3 wickets in last year's MILC. This time, and just this over, he's bagged 4 wickets already. That is pretty dramatic. Looking at the replay, again bowling around the wicket to the right-hander, spearing it in. This time shaping a tad in and defeating the swing of the batter. After a steady opening partnership between Kalicharan and Raghav, it's been a bit of a procession the last 5-10 minutes. 4 batters depart within the span of an over. Netrewalkar's got a rare chance of getting 5 wickets in an over. He's got one more ball to do some more damage. Lashings in need of a bit of stabilization right now. Amir Hamza Hotak, the man in at number 6. He's got a repair job to do alongside Raghav. A lot of cheer from the strikers' fieldsmen, and why not? Watchfully pushed into the leg side. That is the end of a tremendous over from Netrewalkar. 4 wickets in that over. That is one hell of a rarity across any format, a tournament of cricket. He ends up with 4 for 5 after his 3 overs. Lashings 27 for 4 after 5. Just an hour ago, things seemed to be under reasonable control for Lashings. They were 26 for none. It all began with that leg before when Kalicharan had to depart. And 3 batters were bowled out. First bowling change of the morning. Yusuf Zazai in, bowling from the near end. He limbers up. He's going to bowl right arm over the wicket. He's the 24-year-old fast bowler from Paktia, Afghanistan. Mayank Karago on strike right now. He's got a job on his hands. 13 of 6. He is fresh from a 6 just a couple of overs ago, but that seems a long while ago, given all the wickets that happened in the last over. Whoa! Zazai joins the party straight up first ball. He defeats Raghav. He hits the stumps as well. This is carnage. Strikers inflicting some carnage at both ends now. That's 5 wickets of the last 7 balls, the 7 legal balls. Let's take a look to replay. The Zai first ball. Getting a little bit of inward movement to defeat that stroke from Raghav. The number 7 batter in the 6th over, a lot earlier than he would have anticipated. Waiting to see the name populate on screen of the new batter. Zazai running in. Whoa, that is a pacey Yorker dug out by the batter. Great follow-up from the bowler after a wicket, another terrific ball. Achilles Brown is the man in at number 7. Guided towards point region, it dribbles towards third man for a single for Achilles. Achilles is off the mark with that shot. We want to remind the viewers, Lashings played Seattle Thunderbolts yesterday and got a win by 11 runs. They had scored 86 for 6 of their 20 overs, while Seattle responded with 75 all out. So both sides on field right now are fresh from a victory yesterday. Achilles Brown had scored a sedate 16 in the victory yesterday against Seattle. Hotuk's back on strike. Banged into the wicket, defended watchfully by the batter. Amir Hamza Hotak scored 23 runs in the game yesterday. Watchfully played into the leg side for a single. He is off the mark. A bit of applause from the Lashings dugout. They would be rooting for a rear guard right now. They need these two batters to put their heads down and grind out a partnership. Even if the rate is not too aggressive, they want a bit of platform right now. Stem the rot. It is quite the bright morning here at Morgan Hill. There's a fair bit of breeze to keep the players cool. Flicked off the pads, runs towards the man running in from deep square leg. It is a single. That is the third single of the over. Zazai begins successfully with 1 for 3 of his first over. Lashings 30 for 5 after 6 overs. The run rate exactly 5 runs an over. No surprise, Netrwalkar lines up for his 4th over on the trot. He would be training his sights on a fifer here. Figures of 4 for 5 of his 3 overs so far. Netrwalkar running into Brown. Banged into the wicket. Batter ducks. From a Lashings perspective, they would want to just keep this over out. Not worry too much about scoring too many runs. Just keep Netrwalkar out after his 4-pronged striking in the previous over. This time guided towards fine leg. Fine leg runs to his right. They have enough time to come back for a second run. Lovely batting is the chirp from the dugout. Every run is being cheered by the dugout. They would really be rooting for this rearguard act at this stage. Lashings moved to 30 for 5 with that brace. 32 for 5 actually, as we wait for the scorecard to update on screen. Good bowling is the chirp from the man behind the wicket. Netrwalkar's got a 5-4 field to the right-handed batter. 5 fielders on the offside, including a slip and a shortish mid-wicket. Those two men in catching positions. Watchfully defended into the offside. The bowler retrieves the ball. It has been a pacey start for the strikers today with both Netrwalkar and Zazai last over. They've challenged the top order of Lashings. Tentatively pushed into the leg side. Skipper Reefer stops that one. There is a minor adjustment in the field. We've got a silly mid-on in place right now. Netrwalkar to Brown. Oh, what kind of shot was that? Brown going across the line and finds his stumps in absolute disarray. I don't see the batter walking away. I just realized that was actually a free hit, so no damage done from the batting side. This time punched into the leg side for a single. Two balls ago, Netrwalkar had bowled a no ball, which meant the previous ball was a free hit. Hence, Brown throwing caution to the wind and going for a big swipe across the line and finding his stumps in disarray, but no consequence because it was a free hit. So the batters have a bit of insurance. One ball left in Netrwalkar's spell. Can he price out Hotak and land a fifer? Or will Lashings play this out safe? Safe indeed. Blocked into the offside for a dot ball. That is the end of a tremendous spell from Netrwalkar. 4 for 9 of his 4 overs. And he also smashed the stumps on that free hit a couple of balls ago. He's put the strikers in a tremendously strong position early in the piece. Both Hotak and Brown got amongst some runs yesterday against Seattle Thunderbolts. So both of these batters have had some time in the middle already in this tournament. So they'd love to build on that today and deliver an important partnership. Zazai comes back for a second over, bowling a right arm over from the near end. Hurrying the batter, defended into the mid-on region. Oh, shot maybe tries to intercept, but they have enough time to scramble a single. Every run being applauded by the Lashings dugout. They need a little bit of tenacity at this stage. pacey delivery just outside the off stump. Hotak leaves that alone. A rare leave, I must add. Zazai had figures of 1 for 33 or 4 overs in the game against San Ramon Grizzlies last evening. This time down the leg side, wide, says the umpire. Sundaram Subramanian and Rohan Chandran are the umpires in the middle right now. Guided into the offside. This one trickles towards third man for a single. Bashed into the wicket, a pull shot. Goes to the right, the man in a short mid-wicket. They have enough time to complete a single. Shy at the non-striker's end, and the fielder's got his hands on his head. Perhaps it was a close run affair. Lots of chirp from the bright blue jerseys from the strikers. Short ball, Hota goes to the pull shot. The man running in from deep square leg. It goes through his attempted catch. They have a single. There are two men in the deep. There's a deep fine leg and a deep square leg in place. This went somewhere in between those two fieldsmen. Deep square leg running about 10 yards to his right and a little forwards. But not quite able to reel that in. Zazai to Achilles. Bowled pretty quick in the channel, left alone by the batter. That is the end of the 8th over. 4 singles in the wide of that one. Zazai has figures of 1 for 8 after 2 overs. Lashings moved 39 for 5 after 8. Skipper Raymond Reefer into the attack for his first over. So it continues to be left arm pace from the far end after Netravalka's 4 overs have been done. Reefer got a 1-for in the game yesterday. Bowled into the pitch, defended towards square leg for a single. 1s and 2s have been the feature of this partnership so far. The men in the middle continue to do a repair job. This time, got it towards point. They think about a single. They stay put. Sharp hands on the man at point. This time down the leg side, wide says the umpire. Reefer's bowling left arm over the wicket. He's got a pretty strong offside field for the right-handed batter. Worked away towards mid-wicket. There's a man in the ring. Shy the stumps, but the batters are in safe. Quick singles have been a feature of this short partnership so far. The man at short mid-wicket in business for a couple of seconds there. Achilles Brown moves to 8 with that single. Hotak back on strike. After a couple of false starts, Reefer's back, running into Hotak. Watchfully pushed into the mid-wicket region. There is a man in the ring to keep that to a dot. Except for that one top-edge pull shot which went in the air when it wasn't quite caught eventually. Both of these two batters have been pretty watchful in this partnership. Most of the runs have come along the ground. They want to grind out a partnership at this stage after being 5 down early. That is down the leg side. There was a cry of a catch it from the bowler, waiting for a signal from the umpire. No signal, so off the bat. Fine leg running in on that occasion to clean that up. Reefer switches to around the wicket now. Speared into the stumps. Oh, there's a bit of confusion in the middle. A little fumble at mid-off allows the batters to get home comfortably for a single. Just for a couple of seconds, the Lashings dugout would have had their hearts in their mouths there. End of Reefer's first over, 5 for none. Lashings 44 for 5 after 9 overs. Nawaz Katawazai is limbering up for his first over, bowling right arm over the wicket from the near end. He had figures of 2 for 24 of his 4 overs in the victory against Grizzlies last night. Attempted drive by Achilles Brown, no contact. That was a bit of a wafty drive. Nawaz Khan, a 28-year-old from Afghanistan. He played for the Blazers in seasons past. Got 5 wickets in the 2024 season, conceding it runs at 8.2. He's got a lot stronger wicket split against right-handers, especially from his 2023 season. Bashed into the wicket, pushed towards sharp wicket for a sharp run. The batter is being made to earn every single by the fieldsman in the ring. There's exactly one fielder in the ring on the leg side, mid-wicket, but he's been pretty active for the last couple of overs. Hota guides this through the cover region. There is an opportunity for 2. Nope. It is 1 run eventually. Nice flat throw in from the man at sweeper cover. Katawazai's got a 5-4 split field, 5 fielders on the offside, 3 men in the deep, a third man, a sweeper cover, and a wideish long off. Bowled into the wicket allows the batsman to go onto his back foot and unleash a strong pull shot. That is a boundary for Achilles Brown. He moves to 14 of 18 with that 4. Much needed boundary for this partnership. Katawazai trying to bowl this into the wicket, a little outside off stump, but it was at the right height for the batter to go back and pull it, and he was able to place it to the left of the man in the ring. It's a good placement as well from the batter. Achilles moves to 14. The 50 up for Lashings. This time a streaky shot towards third man. Man running to his left, but to no avail. That is another boundary for Achilles Brown. So consecutive boundaries for the batting side now. A little bit of momentum. Let's take a look at the replay. This was bowled a lot fuller. That is watchfully fended by the batter, but with an open face, it allowed the ball to run towards fine third man. Achilles Brown is a 20-year-old from Philadelphia. bashed into the pitch, this time in the offside. He opens his face and pushes it towards deep point for a single. End of Katawa's first over, 11 runs off it, courtesy of those two boundaries. Lashings 55 for 5 in 10 overs. 3 fives on the scorecard. 5 for 5. As we head into the 11th over, players take a little break. Welcome back, folks. Skipper Reefer bowling from the far end. Left arm around the wicket. Watchfully defended by Hotak back to the bowler. Correction, Achilles Brown is the man on strike. Defended again back to the bowler. Well bowled. Reefer is the chirp from the fieldsman. A lot of left arm bowling on display from the strikers. Netravalkar with his first 4 overs. Reefer replacing him at the far end. Kamran Hotak with his left arm spin at the other end earlier. This time pushed towards the right of the bowler, but Reefer is quick enough to cut that off. 3 dot balls to begin with after the break. This time defended into the offside towards point. They have enough time to get a quick single. A lot of applause from the dugout. Looking at Lashings' history, back in 2021, their win-loss ratio was 4 against 11. They finished 6th in the division. In 2022, 4 wins versus 10 defeats. 5th in the division. In 2023, 4 versus 6. 5th in the division, just outside of the playoffs. In the last season, they had a 2-6 win-loss split. They finished 5th in the division. At least 5 of their games went to the last over, so they are no strangers to close games. This time, off the edge, flies to third man for a single. The Lashings are still looking for their first win in the city of Morgan Hill, except they got a win yesterday at the other ground. So they do have a win in the city, although they haven't necessarily won at this ground before. This is their first game at Tariqa. This time guided towards the fine leg region. There is a man at fine leg to cut that off. 3 singles to round out the 11th over. Rafer has figures of none for 8 after his 2 overs. Lashings moved to 58 for 5 after 11. More spin and offer. For the first time in the day, we see some wrist spin bowling. We have a right arm leg spinner bowling from the near end, bowling right arm over the wicket. And Periyasamy worked away towards mid-wicket. It beats the man at short mid-wicket. Achilles turns the strike over with that single. He moves to 22 of 27. Up paddled by Hotak towards the vacant fine leg region. They have enough time to come back for a second. Good awareness shown by Hotak on that occasion. He knew fine leg was vacant. There is a man at deep square leg, but he was able to use the lack of pace on that occasion to work it towards fine leg. This time opens his face and guides it towards the third man region. Point runs back, but to no avail. That is a boundary for Hotak. Amir Hamza, Hotak with his possibly first boundary. He moves to 13 of 14 balls with his first boundary as Nirmal Kumar Periyasamy continues to bowl. This time guided into the point region. They have enough time for a single. Every run being applauded by the Lashings dugout. This time a fierce cut shot. There is a man in the deep running to his left. Can he keep it in? Nope is the answer. That is another boundary for Achilles Brown. That is the second boundary of this over. Perisami finishes with 12 runs of his first over as Lashings moved to 70 for 5 after 12. Both batters appear to be pretty comfortable against the spin bowling on offer, showcasing the cut shot and being comfortable off the pads as well, and a little bit of paddled innovation as well. Navaskan Katavazai is back to bowl the 13th over. Katavazai to Hotak. Beats the bat. Hotak trying to open the face of the bat and run it down to third man on that occasion. A change of ends for Katavazai. His first over is bowled from the near end. Now he's bowling from the far end, which is closer to the highway. Constant drum of traffic on 101 is a backdrop to this game. Push towards the bowler for another dot ball. Steady start by Katavazai. This time push towards point. There is a fielder right there for that shot. Dot ball again. 3 dot balls on the bounce by Katavazai. A lot of encouragement from the fieldsman for the bowler. 3 dot balls always brings about a little bit of impatience from the batting unit. Let's see what Hotak does on the next ball. Third man's being reeled into the ring now. But after a bit of consideration, they send him back to his original place. So there are 3 men in the deep on the offside. Actually, long off walks back in to mid off. So it's 2 men in the deep on the offside. Chipped in the air towards mid off. Dot ball again. Pushed into the point region for a single. It's been a pretty quiet over by Katavazai so far. Brown on strike for the first time this over. Ball full, driven into the covers. They have enough time for a single as mid-off runs to his left. That is a 2-run over from Katavazai. He has figures of none for 13 after 2 as Lashings move to 72 for 5 after 13 overs. Nirmal Kumar Perisami back for his second over. Over the wicket. Correction, it's actually Kamran Hotak is back in the attack. Left arm finger spin. So it's left arm around the wicket to the right-handed Hotak. It's Hotak to Hotak. Hotak pushes that into the vacant mid-wicket region for a quick single. There's nobody in the ring on the leg side in front of the wicket. Achilles works this one through the point region. They think about one, but they stay put. There are two men either side of point there. A short third man and a traditional point in the ring. Again, push towards the same region. Again, the dot ball. This time to the right of the man at point, but again, not in the gap. Hotak building 3 dot balls on the bounce against Achilles Brown. How's Brown going to respond at this last ball? Defends it watchfully. That is a very tight over by Kamran Hotak, just a couple of singles off that one. He's got figures of none for 23 after his 3 overs, Lashings 74 for 5 in 14. They would be looking to accelerate in the remainder of this innings. Worked away towards the square leg region for a single. This partnership worth 48 runs. They've done a pretty solid job of rebuilding the innings after those 5 wickets in the cluster. There's a strong breeze across the ground. It worked away towards square leg. They are thinking of 2. They are pushing for 2. The man in the deep mid from a deep mid wicket has to run in and clean it up. That is the 50 partnership up for Lashings. A pretty productive association between Achilles Brown and Amir Hamza Hotak. They came together at the fall of the 5th wicket when things were happening too quickly for Lashings' liking. They lost 4 wickets in 1 over of Netrwalkar and 1 more of Zazai. A 5-for-1 collapse in a matter of 7 balls, and this has been a very impressive rebuilding partnership. This time an uppercut shot. It bisects the gap between a man at third man and deep point. Lovely bit of placement. Good one is a chirp from the dugout. Achilles Brown moves to 34 with that boundary. A little bit of width on that occasion, allowing the batsman to flay it. A slower ball, ended up being a full toss, being bashed over the fine leg region for a 6. Replay coming up. That was an attempted slower ball by Nawaz. A full toss way outside the leg stump. and the batter helping it along its way. The scorecard on screen isn't quite up to date yet. It's trailing by a couple of balls. Four and six for Achilles Brown takes him to 39 of 37. At this stage of the innings, Lashings would want a little bit of acceleration, and this over is a step in the right direction for the batting unit. A lot more volume from the Lashings dugout right now. Nawaz Khan would look to get his radar sorted. Lot better, straight and full, pushed into the offside for a single. Guided by Hotak, but too fine, so the keeper has enough time to stop that one. In fact, it's a wicket for a couple of seconds. Is it a wicket? Nope. Just a change of gloves to the batter. A little bit of activity around the pitch there as the batter is being ferried some drinks and change of gloves, and the fielding unit also grabbing some quick drinks. 5 more overs to go. Lashings with 2 set batters in the middle. They would love for a little bit more of acceleration. They got 13 runs at the previous Katawazai over. That is a tremendous step in the direction of acceleration for Lashings. Abhishek Singh and Sundaram are the umpires in the middle right now. It has been a sunny yet blustery morning here at Morgan Hill. It was pretty breezy all through the afternoon yesterday as well. Hotak back for his last over, defended watchfully by Brown into the offside. Hotak had bowled 4 dot balls on the bounce against Brown in the previous over. Can he keep him quiet in this over as well? Steered towards the man at deep mid-wicket. It's a single, which brings Amir Hamza Hotak back on strike, which means it is Hotak v Hotak. Tossed up. Amir Hamza jumps down the wicket and lofts it over wide long off for a handsome 6. That is a telling blow. He saw a little bit of flight and he immediately jumped down the wicket and launched into a handsome stroke. The batter coming up with the broadsides on that occasion on this Hotak duel. This time pushed towards the batter, a lot flatter. Guided towards point for a dot ball. This time guided towards the man at point. Good bowling is the chirp from the keeper and the fieldsman. Again, a bit of flight. This time he drives it with an open face towards deep point. The man runs to his left to keep that to a single. That is the end of Hotak's 4-over spell. He's got figures of none for 31. 8 runs is it over. Lashings finish with 95 for 5 after 16 overs. The run rate just a nudge south of 6 runs an over. Dot ball to begin the 17th over from skipper Ray Reefer. He's pulling left arm over the wicket from the far end. Lobbed into the offside of an edge. That is a catch. That is the end of Hotak's enterprising innings. He falls for 24 of 28. It has been a tremendous partnership from Achilles Brown and Amir Hamza Hotak. They got together after that big collapse and they put together a stand that is worth close to 60 runs over about 9 overs or so. Reefer intercepting the partnership there. That was bowled across the right-hander, trying to drive it over the infield, finding more toppage than middle. And the man at cover snaffling that. Hotak departs for some handy applause from the Lashings dugout. A pivotal partnership reviving the Lashings. Nirmal Kumar Periyasamy, the man in at cover who snaffled that chance. We're waiting for the new batter's name to populate on screen. A right-handed batter in at number 8. He's got a job to do to hang on with Achilles Brown and find a little bit of momentum as well. Guided towards point. They think about a quick single, but they stay put. Good bowling from Ray Reefer. Bowling to his field, angling it across the right-hander. He's got a point in place precisely for that shot. This time dug into the wicket, finds a fair bit of steep bounce. Ishak trying to steer that towards third man, but no contact. The left armer's angle taking it away from the right-hander. Fine leg is jogged into the ring. This time bowled fuller, lofted off the front foot by the batter for a beautiful 6. Ishak finding a handsome way to get off the mark. That was bowled a lot fuller compared to the previous delivery, and Ishak was waiting on his front foot, found the middle of his willow. A flourishing stroke from the batter. time punched into the offside for a quick single that was placed between the man at point and cover. That is the end of Reefer's third over. He's got figures of 1 for 15. Eventful over, a wicket and a 6. Lashings 102 for 6 after 17 overs. Mohammad Ishaq Zazai is a 22-year-old right-handed wicket-keeping batter from Afghanistan. He scored a half-century in the youth ODI for Afghanistan against Bangladesh back in 2021. He plays with Kabul in the Afghan first-class cricket scene. Zazai back in the bowling attack, so it's Zazai v Zazai again. Oh, bold shot, guided with an open face, but unfortunately got more height than distance, finds the point fieldsman. A bit of a half-hearted shot from the batter there. He's trying to use the bounce, but unfortunately couldn't quite find the distance. That was a lollipop of a catch for the man at point. Ishaq departs for 7 of 5. Lashing slumped to 102 for 7. Pranay Suri, the man at point who completed the catch. Strikers are now amongst the lower order of Lashings. Number 9, Elmore Hutchinson in. He is a 43-year-old from Jamaica. Scored close to 140 ODI runs for the US, striking at 300. He has a guided towards point. They grab a quick single. Hutchinson's off the mark. Back in 2024, he scored 73 runs at a strike rate of 135. Is particularly punishing at the death. So the situation is something to his liking right now. He's got less than 3 overs to inflict some damage on the bowling unit. Achilles Brown back on strike. Ball into the wicket, a pull shot, more edge than middle, dribbles towards short square leg for a single. Yusuf Zazai has not been shy of using the shorter ball through his overs so far. He's got figures of 2 for 10 from 2.3. He's worked up a fair bit of pace and occasionally used the bouncer. Elmore Hutchinson is a tall player, 6'6". He's got some long levers to use if love for a fullish length. That is a slower ball, watchfully guided into the point region. The batters get back safely for a single. Zazai operating with a 5-4 field for both batters, although a few tweaks on the offside. There is a man at deep point and long off and sweeper cover in the offside. Brown flicks that towards mid-wicket. Man running in from wide long on to clean that up. Tight bowling by Zazai so far. 4 singles on the bounce after that wicket. Point has been reeled back into the ring and square leg has been sent back. Driven through the covers, it is going to be a single. The man at sweeper cover running in. That is 5 runs of Zazai's third over and an important wicket. Lashings finished the 18th over with 107 for 7. A steady breeze blowing across the ground, occasionally almost a bluster, threatening to topple the broadcasting setup here. All these live streams are brought to you by some expert work from Bala and Bibu helming the broadcasting booth, and the cameras, there's at least 3 cameras deployed to get you different angles. 4 says Bala. Skipper Reefer about to bowl the penultimate over, bowling left arm over from the far end. Can Elmore Hutchinson find some impetus, find a couple of boundaries for the Lashings at this death stage? As bowled full, almost at the block hole, dug out by the batter back towards the bowler. Ball into the wicket, attempted pull shot, goes back over the keeper's head, runs towards the fence, 2 men in deep pursuit. Yusuf reels it in. The batsmen come back for a second run. Reefer hurrying the batter with that short ball on that occasion. Hutchinson offering a pull shot, but finding a toppage which sailed over the keeper and in between the man at square leg and point on the ring. A handy 2 for Hutchinson as he moves to 5 of 5. Can he find a boundary? He launches that towards mid-wicket and he can find a boundary and some. That is actually a magnificent 6. This was bowled a lot fuller by Reefer and Hutchinson using his levers to launch that over wideish long on. In his arc, around about middle and leg stump. Elmore Hutchinson answers the call for boundaries. What's Reefer going to respond with? Bashes that into the wicket, attempted across the line hack, beats the bat, dot ball. Whoa, 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 whoa. The breeze really threatening the commentary box here. It almost toppled this table on a couple of occasions. $115 for 7. Can Lashings make it to 130 from the remaining 8 balls? Pull shot by Hutchinson, and in the gap as well. The man running to his right at mid-wicket in Wayne. Good striking from Elmore Hutchinson at the death 12 runs of this over already with a ball to go. Let's take a look at the replay. Refer banging that one into the wicket. That ended up being at a comfortable height for the tall Hutchinson to pull that with authority. Come on, Ellie is the chirp from the dugout. They'd be rooting for more boundaries. Again, bashed into the wicket, this time beats the attempted pull. I'm looking at the square leg umpire for any signal. It says that's 1 for the over, but the over is done in any case. Refer with 1 for 27 of his 4 overs. Lashings 119 for 7 after 19 overs. Yusuf Sazai about to bowl his 4th over, the last over of the innings. Can Lashings find some boundaries of this last over? Achilles Brown on strike after quite a while. He's on 43 or 42. He'll have his sights set on a possible half century. He goes across for a scoop, but he gets hit in the midriff. He's down. The batter's in a considerable amount of pain there. He moved across and tried to guide it towards the vacant fine leg region, but unfortunately getting hit on the midriff. He's writhing in pain as the players rush to check on the batter. Attempted innovation from the batter in pursuit of quick runs. Unfortunately, the risk with these scoop shots is you might put your body on the line. And Desai is a pacey customer as well. As the batter gets some attention, let's take a look at the strikers' tournament history. Back in 2021, they had a dominant 11-3 split, 11 wins, 3 losses. They were minor league champions. In 2022, again 13-1, the only loss to the East Bay Blazers. Lost by 6 runs to Seattle in the Pacific Conference title defense. 2023, they had a 6-3 win-loss split. They finished love 3 in Super 8s though. In 2024, 4 wins against 4 losses. They were dominant when they batted first last season, and when they were chasing, it was almost always nail-biters. A couple of close losses, a couple of close wins. And that streak seems to have been continued on the evidence of yesterday's game. They chased and they won off the last ball. So the strikers have a history of creating dramatic finishes when they're chasing. It looks a tad serious for the batter in the middle. He still appears to be down as he's getting helped up. For folks online, we have a bit of a double header here at Tarika here today as well. Following this game, the East Bay Blazers would play the San Ramon Grizzlies. It is a feast of cricket for cricket lovers in the Bay Area. A double header at this ground yesterday and today, and we got games going on at the other ground at Morgan Hill as well. This Labor Day long weekend is going to serve up a feast of cricket for cricket lovers in the Bay Area and across the US. Achilles is back up. Zai running in to bowl the second ball. Tries to slice that towards third man, makes no contact. Again, the pace of Zai beating the bat. That is bowled full and just a tad wide of the off stump. Good skills from Zai. Brown trying to find a bit of focus and composure after that blow in the previous ball. Can he find the middle of the bat? Can he find some runs with 4 more balls to go for his side? That is bashed into the pitch. Attempted pull shot goes back to the keeper of possibly an inside edge. 3 dot balls on the bounce for Zai. Strikers will be thrilled with this over so far. Again, Zai not shy of using the shortish delivery. He's been pacey all day, mixing up his lengths. 2 for 13 of his 3.3 so far. Great figures. Again a short ball. Again an attempted pull shot by Achilles. Again through the keeper. That is a couple of short balls on the bounce. 4 dot balls on the bounce by Zai. Not quite the output that Lashings would have wanted in the 20th over. They got a couple of more balls to go. Can Browns find some willow in this ball? And maybe perhaps get Hutchinson on strike for the last ball. We got a blue jay chirping in the background to give us a little bit of background noise. Background music, rather. This time it seemed to be a change of pace. This scurry for a bye, but unfortunately... Actually, fortunately for the batters, they are in safe. Just for a couple of seconds, I thought Hutchinson was out of the striker's end, the keeper finding the stumps. But his long strides and hustle from the non-striker's end being good enough to beat the throw. So that's a single, finally a run of this last over. A few adjustments being made in the field for the last ball of the innings. Lashings at 120 for 7 with a ball to go. Can Hutchinson find another boundary? He's 15 from 9 so far with a 6 and a 4. Bowled full. Appeal for leg before. Nope, says the umpire. I'm waiting for a signal from the umpire. It seems to have been bat. That is the end of 20 overs for Lashings. They finish with 121 for 7. It has been an eventful innings. Strikers had won the toss earlier and inserted the Lashings in. Let's take a look at the scorecard. As the batters march back towards the pavilion, Brown with a solid innings of 44 from 47, holding up the Lashings innings together in the middle stage, especially after that collapse. Kristen Kalicharan and Mayank Raghav scoring 12 and 13 runs each, putting on a solid stand of 25 up top. But Netravalkar ran amok in his third over and he priced out not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 batters in his third over, including a leg before, a hit wicket, and a couple of guys bowled out trying to play across the line. Netravalkar with pace allied with some movement off the wicket. And Zai came into the party as well, and his first over striking and removing Mayank Raghav. So Lashings were tottering at 5 for not too many runs in the 6th or 7th over. And then Amir Hamza Hotak alongside Achilles Brown constructed a rearguard partnership for about 60 runs over 8 to 9 overs. Brown eventually finishing unbeaten 44 from 47. Hotak 24 of 29. And Ellie Hutchinson at the death with 16 of 10. Strikers need 122 from their cut of 20 overs. Let's take a look at the bowling scorecard. Netravalkar, the destructor-in-chief, 4 for 9 of his pacey 4 overs. Yusuf Zazai as well, pretty quick, mixing up his lengths, 2 for 15 of his 4 overs. The left-arm spin of Hotak going for none for 31. The skipper Raymond Reefer with his left-arm pace from the far end, 1 for 27 of his 4 overs. Nawaz Khan Katawazai going for a few runs, none for 26 of his 3. And the leggy Nirmal Kumar Perisami, none for 12 of his single over. We adjourn for a short innings break. We'll see our viewers in a few minutes as strikers seek to chase 122 for their second win on the bounce. See you folks in a few minutes. Thank you. This is your commentator Hari Venkatramani signing off for a short break. Welcome back, folks. We are about to kick off the chase. Silicon Valley strikers in pursuit of 122 runs for the win against Lashings. They will be looking for their second win on the bounce. They're already on the board with a win against the Sandermont Grizzlies last evening at this very ground. We're waiting for the scorecard to update on screen. It still has the first innings batters displayed. The purple jerseys of Lashings ready to go. We've got more left arm pace on offer. Left arm over the wicket from the far end. Guided with an open face towards point for a dot ball. Guided through the point region, third man runs to his left and keeps it in the field of play. They have time to come back for a couple of runs. Akmal Hajizada bowled it a little wide of off stump, allowing the batter to steer it to the right of diving point fieldsman. There's a strong field around the squarish point region. There's a man at gully, there's a man at point, there's a third man which is slightly fine. Kamran Hotak opening the face of his bat to open his account with a brace. This time driven through the covers, but straight to the fieldsman, dot ball. Hajizada is bowling with a pretty strong offside field to the left-handed batter. 7-2 split, 7 fieldsmen on the offside. The only man in the ring on the leg side is a mid-on, and there's a deep square leg. Hajizada is an under-19 quickie, left-arm quick. In 2024, he got 5 wickets, averaging 31 per wicket at an economy of 8. Bowled a lot fuller this time, driven a lot straighter. His scramble a single as mid-off cleans up. Kamran Hotak captained the Afghanistan under-19 team. He has opened in 5 of his previous 7 innings in the 2024 season. Amog Arepalli on strike for the first time. Bashed into the wicket, defended towards the cover region for a dot ball. There's been plenty of left-arm quicks on display today. Earlier in the morning, Netrwalkar and skipper Reefer were the left-arm quicks. We get Hajizada on display right now. A lot of left-arm bowling talent across the teams. Old Fuller, Arepalli, open-faced drive over covers for a one bounce 4. Beautiful shot, using the full length to step forward and hit through the line with an open face. Hajizada ends his first over conceding 7 runs. Strikers 7 for none after 1. The width on offer allowed Arepalli to throw his hands through the shot. Handy early boundary for the strikers. Zahil Zakil about to bowl some left arm orthodox in from the near end. Left arm over to the left-handed Kamran Hotak. Toss step driven by the batter towards the long on fieldsman for a single. Correction, it's actually Amir Hamza Hotak is about to bowl. Back in 2023, Amir Hamza Hotak bagged 7 wickets at 27. Driven back towards the bowler by Arepalli. Dot ball. A more even field deployed by the left arm spinner. 5-4, 5 on the offside. This time worked into the gap at the squarish point region. It has enough muscle to take it to the fence for 4. There's no protection in the cover point region. Good bit of timing from Arepalli. He's already shown his strong preference for the offside, lacing a cover-driven boundary in the previous over of pace and now opening up against the spin as well. This seemed to come back in towards the batter after it bounced, but still enough width and was short enough for the batter to go back and open the face a little bit to place it. From a Lashing standpoint, they want to keep things tight. They've got 121 to defend. Bowled a lot more straighter this time with a little bit of flight, eliciting a defensive stroke from the batter. Tentatively poked into the point region. No is the call from the non-striker. A bit of KG cricket from both sides. Tight line from the bowler. Watchful defense from the batter. The 2 men deep right now are a wideish long off and a deep mid wicket. Pushed towards the mid-off region for a single. Long off jogs towards the ring to clean that up. Silicon Valley Strikers have 2 wins out of 2 here at Tarika. 1 win last season and 1 win here yesterday. They would want to make it a hat-trick of wins at this ground. This is their home ground. Strikers 13 for none after 2 overs. Hajizada continues from the far end. This time a 6-3 field to the right-handed Arepalli. There is a wideish slip in place. Powerful shot over the infield, trickles towards the fence with 2 men in pursuit. They are able to keep that in the field. The batters are able to grab 3 runs off that shot. Again, Arepalli using a little bit of width to free his arms and launching it over the point region. As the afternoon continues on, the strong breeze we have right now will pick up even more strength. It is going to be an interesting challenge for the faster bowlers to stay composed and balanced as they run in. This time driven into the offside, mid-off keeps it to a dot. Pushed back down the ground. Enough timing on that to take it to the fence. 4, says the umpire. A lot of applause from the strikers' dugout. Kamran Houtak with his first boundary. That is bowled full around about middle stump. He got a little forward and pushed it left or right of the stumps rather. No protection in the deep, straight down the ground. Hajizada switches to left arm around the wicket. A defensive push into the covers, a mild misfield results in a couple of runs for the batters. Lashings can't afford too many misfields. They've got only 120 odd on the board. This time a soft stroke towards mid-off. They go for a quick single. Shy at the non-striker's end results in a possible overthrow, but fine leg is in place to block that throw. Five balls of this over, 5 different numerals, 3, 0, 4, 2, 1. So it's been a distinct different number every ball. Bowled into the wicket, defended with an open face towards cover point. That is a dot to finish. Hajizada has figures of none for 17 of his 2 overs. His strikers moved to 23 for none after 3. Left arm spin to a left-handed batter. We've had a lot of left arm bowling on display over the last couple of days. Hotak shapes for a sweep shot off Hotak. He gets a single towards mid-wicket. Both batters already in double figures, 12 apiece right now. The right-handed Arepalli on strike right now. Left arm around the wicket by Amir Hamza Hotak. He punches this one. Launched over the infield, long off runs forward, but it's in no man's land. The man at cover running back to clean that up. A couple of runs for Arepalli. That has floated a little fuller, just a tad outside off stump. Arepalli stepping forward and trying to launch that, I think, straight down the ground, but got a little bit more height and drifted into the middle region of the field around 3/4 of the way towards deep cover. Watchfully played, trickles off possibly an inside edge towards square leg. A few oohs and ahs from the bowler and keeper. Defended by Kamran Hotak back towards Amir Hamza Hotak. That's 4 runs off Hotak's second over. Strikers 27 for none after 4 overs. The run rate 6.75. First bowling change for Lashings. Elmore Hutchinson about to bowl from the far end. More left arm over. Shortish ball pulled uppishly over the mid-on fieldsman. It's straight to the mid-on fieldsman. It is 4 for Arepalli. That was bashed into the wicket by Hutchinson, but ended up being at a comfortable height for a straightish pull shot by Amog Arepalli as he moves to 19 with that boundary. This time an edge, or was it sounded like a nick from the vantage point of the commentary box, but no nick, no appeal. Hutchinson angling it across, right-hander, and finding a lot of steep bounce on that occasion. This time guided by the batter. Point dives to his left to stop that in the ring, a single. Hutchinson has 7 wickets from his 2024 MILC season with an economy of 8.1 and 11 from the 2023 season, an economy just under 8. Defended into the covers for a quick single. Efficient batting by Kamran Hotak. Guided through the point region. There's a mild misfield by the man in the ring. Trickles towards third man for a single. Lots of adjustments in the field courtesy of the left and right batters, getting singles of each ball. 3 singles on the bounce. It takes a fair bit of skill from the bowlers to control their line when they're bowling to left and right on a pretty frequent basis. Guided with an open face towards third man. Another single to Kamran Hotak. That concludes Hutchinson's first over. 8 runs off it, a 4 and 4 singles. Strikers at a comfortable 35 for none after 5 overs. More spin, this time off spin from the near end. That has been lofted over the covers by Kamran Hotak. Harpreet Singh bowling his first over around the wicket to the left-hander. Kamran Hotak stepping forward and launching it over the infield. The only fieldsmen in the deep at the moment are a deep mid-wicket and a long on. This time cut shot. That is also in the gap. Also a boundary, consecutive boundaries from Kamran Hotak. He's showing a fair appetite for boundaries right now. He moves to 22 of 16 balls. This time a little shorter and way outside the off stump, allowing him to go back and sort of cut it between the fieldsmen and the ring. Both batters have an almost identical analysis right now. Kamran Hotak 22 of 16, Amog Arapalli 21 of 16. Strikers at a comfortable 43 for none. This time tossed up generously, but on the pads, flicked towards the man in the ring for a tight single. The current run rate is just a smidge. It's exactly 8, in fact. The required rate is a pretty comfortable 5.4. From a Lashings standpoint, they would love to intercept this partnership. They're still inside the power play, 3 more balls to go, so there's only a couple of fielders in the deep. There is a widish long on and a deep mid-wicket for the right-handed Arepalli. Harmeet bowling over the wicket to the right-hander. There's an appeal for leg before. The umpire does not oblige as they scamper across. No sign from the umpire, so that's runs off the bat for Amog. Watchfully defended by Hotak on this occasion. First dot ball in this over. 10 runs off it already. 1 more ball to go. Last ball of the power play. Can Harpreet find a way to break this partnership? Again, watchfully defended back towards the bowler. That is a tidy finish to a 10-run over from Harpreet Singh. Strikers 45 for none after 6 overs. The power plays are done. They need a further 77 runs of the remaining 14 overs at a run rate of 5.5. Ellie Hutchinson about to bowl his second over from the far end. Left arm over to the right-handed Amog Arepalli. From a Lashing standpoint, they need wickets ASAP. Bashed into the wicket, guided to the man at widish mid-on. Dot ball to begin with. Even if Lashings don't strike immediately, if they can build a sequence of quiet deliveries, a few dot balls, a couple of quiet overs, they can elicit perhaps a false shot from the batters. Right now, both batters are comfortable scoring runs either side of the wicket. And definite towards the vacant mid-off region. Long off runs forward to clean that up. Single to Arepalli. It's not just the fieldsmen who have to switch to the left and righty combination. Even the umpire has to jog back and forth between square leg on for the left-hander and the right-hander. Hotak back on strike, 23 of 19. Both batters exactly at 23 of 19. Pretty symmetric scorecard right now. Definite end to the covers for a dot ball. Watchfully defended, they go for a quick single. Ellie Hutchinson tries to get that on his follow-through, but not quite. Good running by the batters. They've been proactive with the singles, especially in the offside. The field a lot more spread out right now, but given the power plays are done. Only 2 men in the ring and single saving positions in the offside. Bashed into the wicket. This time a pull shot by Arepalli goes to the long on fieldsman on the bounce. Nice flat throw back towards the bowler. Trickles towards the keeper. Another single to the batting unit. This time lofted over the cover region. Long off runs to his right, but in vain. That was placed with precision by Kamran Hotak, using the foolish length to launch it wide of the long off fieldsman. Yet another boundary for the left-handed Hotak. Is bowled a little wide of the off stump, and Hotak stepping forward and using the width to launch it over the infield. That is 52 for none after 7 overs for strikers. The run rate just a tad south of 7.5. Hutchinson has figures of none for 15 after his 2 overs. Lashings in need of an interception from someone. The equation now 70 of 13 overs. Zahid Zakil comes into the attack. Left arm orthodox. He's back 6 wickets so far in his minor league career. That is slapped uppishly towards the point fieldsman. A diving stop. Almost carried to the point fieldsman. Good athletic effort from the man at point. Five of his 6 wickets have come off against right-handed batters. Can Zakil be the man who can price open this opening partnership? A few adjustments in the field. Mid-wickets moved to his right. Oh, attempted defensive stroke by the batter, makes no contact, scurries to the keeper. The left arm spinner's got a 5-4 field, 5 men on the leg side. Good hustle by the bowler on that occasion, as Hotak turned it towards the short mid-wicket region. The bowler running across to keep it to a dot ball. Can Lashings build a sequence of tight deliveries on the batters? Tossed up on a middle stump, this time pushed towards the vacant mid-wicket region. They're thinking of 2. They are scurrying back for 2. Kamran Hotak moves to 30 with that brace, 30 of 25. He's been busy with boundaries and singles and 2s as well. Bowled a tad shorter, allowing the batter to cut this one towards sweeper cover region for a single. There's an appeal for a stumping by the keeper. That is bowled skillfully by Zakil, turning away from the right-handed batter's defensive offer. Dot ball to finish. 4 runs off that over. Strikers 56 for none after 8. A quick replay. Tentative defensive push. The ball turning past the outside edge. Batter though securely in the crease. It's been a bit of a regular stroke making from both of these openers. Strikers sitting pretty, 56 for none, all 10 wickets intact. The required rate 5.5, quite manageable. Lashings deploy another bowling change. Achilles Brown into the bowling attack. He was pretty productive with the bat earlier in the morning, anchoring the Lashings knock with a 40-plus innings. He got struck by a full toss in the last over when he tried to play a lap or scoop shot. Good to see he's recovered. Achilles Brown's a 20-year-old right-arm pace bowler from Philadelphia. He was drafted into the SF Unicorn side but did not play a game yet. He's got 5 wickets in his minor league cricket career so far. Economy of 7 back in 2023, and he bowled exactly 1 over in 2024, went for 20-plus runs. Guided with an open face by the left-handed Hotak towards point. A dot ball to begin for Achilles Brown. Lots of chirp from the strikers' dugout. They are sitting pretty. Time pulled aerially as a man in the deep, waiting for it, and he pouches it. Achilles Brown with the interception. Amog Aripalli tried to pull that. Unfortunately for him, he hit it straight to the man at deep square leg. Much needed wicket for the Lashings. The opening partnership yielding a very fruitful 56 in 8 overs. 8.2, 57 possibly, 57 of 8.2. Arepalli departs for a well-made 25 of 23, proactive batting, a few boundaries on either side of the wicket. Let's take a look at the replay. This is bowled over the wicket, shortish, allowing the batter to go back and pull, but unfortunately the placement was not quite in the gap. Mayank Raghav, the map square leg, who pouched that catch to give Lashings their first wicket. Lashings will be rooting for a couple of more of the strikes to try and derail this top order. Shivam Mishra, the man in at number 3, is a 32-year-old from Mumbai. Is driven through the mid-off region for a single. Mishra off the mark straight away. Shivam Mishra was active back in the day, trying to force his way into the Ranji Trophy selection. He moved to the US after he got married. He's got, over the last couple of seasons, his strike rate 139 in 2024 and 110 in 2023. That is I have to point out I'd made a mistake earlier. It was Kamran Hotak, the left-handed batter, who played the pull shot and got out. So Arepalli is still in the middle. Apologies. This time again a pull shot, more in front of the wicket. Deep mid-wicket jogs forward to keep that to a single. Wide signaled, wide down the leg side by Achilles Brown. Defended into the offside for a sharp single, shy towards the keeper, but the batters are in safe. Scrambled finish to the over. Achilles Brown with a successful first over, 1 for 4, or possibly 1 for 5 of his first over, including the wide. Strikers 61 for 1 after 9 overs. Arepalli guides that into the offside. Dot ball to begin with. Zahid Zakil's second over. Don't give him easy runs is the chirp from the fieldsman at long off. So a couple of quiet overs from the Lashings bowling unit. A cut shot in the gap. Sweeper runs forward to keep that to a single. Shivam Mishra is now in sight of a milestone. He began this tournament 20 runs shy of 1,000 runs in minor league cricket. He got 16 in the game yesterday. On 2 right now, so he needs a couple of runs to become the 22nd player in minor league cricket to bring up 1,000 runs. Push towards short mid-wicket for a dot ball. Tight bowling by Zakil. The last couple of overs have been a quiet passage for strikers. This time a little shorter. Cut towards the man in the ring at cover. More of these dot balls is what the Lashings side would be rooting for. This time goes back and works it towards the deep mid-wicket region. 2 fieldsmen converge. A tumbling stop by the man at mid-wicket. Good flat throw to the keeper. Mishra comes back for his second run. He moves to 4 and that brings up 1,000 runs for Mishra in his minor league career. Becomes the 22nd batter to bring up that milestone. This time, a more expansive sweep shot. There is nobody there. A deep square leg. That is Mishra's first 4. Zakil finishes his second over with figures of none for 11. Strikers surge to 68 for 1 at the halfway stage. Going down low and sweeping that one, Mishra. It is a 10-over mark, so players stop for a little drink. Welcome back, folks. The players are ready after a short drinks break. Here is the situation. 10 overs done. Striker 68 for 1. They need 54 of 10. Can Lashings find a little bit of inspiration, find a couple of quick wickets? Arepalli, the man, set batter, 28 of 26. Mishra is in for just 6 balls with 8 runs already with 1 swept boundary. Mishra just brought up his 1,000-run mark, 1,000-run milestone in minor league cricket. So Lashings would love for a few interceptions in this middle stage as Achilles Brown continues. Driven down towards mid-off for a dot ball. Achilles Brown was the main man with the bat for LA Lashings. Can he be the main man with the ball? He's already answered their prayers for a wicket with one of his first over when he got the left-handed Kamran out of a pull shot. Can he get rid of the other opener now? Can he get rid of Arepali? A few little fiddles in the field. He's launched it aerially towards long on. Long on pouches it. Achilles Brown does answer his team's players. He does a little jig to celebrate his second wicket. Lashings are alive and kicking. 2 wickets in quick succession from Achilles Brown. He's got figures of 2 for 5 in his second over. Striker 68 for 2 at 10.2. Arepali departs for a well-made 28 of 27. 28 of 28 perhaps. This was bowled sort of foolish around about a middle stump. Arepali channeling that angle and lofting it, but did not have enough muscle to clear the man waiting at long on. He also might have had to deal with that breeze blowing to the left across the ground from possibly third man to mid-wicket. Akmal Hajizada, the man at long on who pouched that catch to give Lashings a second breakthrough. It's been a quite couple of overs over the last 2 or 3 overs. Zakil bowling 2 overs on the bounce, keeping things quiet at that end, and Achilles starting with a couple of wickets still inside a second over. Can Lashings create a little bit more pressure? They got a new batter in the form of Pranay Suri in at number 4. Pranay Suri is a 31-year-old, originally from Hyderabad. Worked away towards the third man region for a single. Suri is off the mark immediately. Pranay Suri has had a couple of productive seasons with minor league cricket over 23 and 24. Pulled away by the left-handed Mishra for a comfortable boundary through square leg. That was a little shot. And the angle was also helpful for the batter. He went back and pulled out a magnificent pull shot. His second boundary already from Mishra. Brown bowling that one a little wide of the leg stump. He might want to fix his radar immediately. This time driven towards deepish mid-off. They have thoughts of a single, but sent back by the non-striker. Achilles Brown has been the golden arm so far for Lashings. Can he price out one more wicket of the last ball of his second over? guided into the offside through point for a single. There is an opportunity for a second, courtesy of a half stop. Batters alert to the opportunity. 7 runs of Brown's second over. He's got figures of 12 for 2 of his 2 overs. Strikers 75 for 2 after 11. Oohs and ahs from the bowler there, pushed into the offside, just short of the cover fieldsman. Pranay Suri on strike. Appeal that spun and defeated the defensive push of the batter. Might have got an edge, trickled towards point for a dot. This time drifting towards leg side, half appeal from the bowler. It's a bit of a wild throw, but long off runs in to limit the damage, a single. Amir Hamza Houtak bowling his 3rd over. There's been a few overs of left arm spin from the near end. Amir Hamza replacing Zahid Zakil, who bowled a 2-over spell. There's a little bit of conference by the umpires, perhaps checking the state of the ball. They stick with the same cherry for the moment. As we speak, the players for the next contest are here warming up. Blazers and Grizzlies. Swept away towards square leg for a couple of runs. Actually, single. Nice flat throw in from the deep. Houtak to Suri. Flick towards mid wicket for a single. Houtak to Mishra, left arm around the wicket. Actually, left arm over the wicket. Mishra goes back and cuts it, but the man at point makes a sliding stop. Dot ball to almost an overthrow. That is a tidy finish to the over. A couple of runs and a leg by. Houtak has figures of none for 12 of his 3 as strikers move to 78 for 2 after 12 overs. The equation now 44 of 8 overs. Strikers still would feel pretty comfortable about the equation. Required rate of 5.5, 8 wickets in the bag. Ellie Hutchinson back into the attack, bowling from the far end. Left arm over to the right-handed Pranay Suri. He's got a 5-4 field, 5 fielders on the offside. A lot of protection around the point region. There are a couple of men in the ring around the point third man angles. And one man at squarish deep point. Left arm around, in fact. That's down the leg side. Every fielder in the deep on the leg side. 4 men battling the fence. Lofted over wideish mid-off for 4. There is no protection down the ground. Suri gets his first boundary. That is bowled foolish around about off stump. Suri stepping forward and lofting it. This time bashed into the wicket, pulled away towards the man running in from deep mid-wicket. There's a thought about a second run, but tidy work from the deep. This time hit through the covers, long off runs to his right, sweeper runs to his left. There seems to be a misfield in the deep, unfortunately for Lashings. That is another boundary for Shivam Mishra. Shivam Mishra jumps to 19 of 12 with that. 4. Oh, this time an appeal for leg before. Also a shy at the non-striker's end, but no damage done. Leg buys, signal by the ump. Let's take a look at the replay. Hutchinson pinning the batter at the crease, but going down the leg side. Oh, he's bowled him! Elmore Hutchinson knocks the off stump out of the ground. Pranay Suri has to depart for 7 runs of 8 balls. Lashings continue to fight. Strikers 89 for 3. Hutchinson builds on the work of Achilles Brown, his first wicket. The equation now 33 from 7.1 overs with 7 wickets in the bag for strikers. It's still a comfortable position for the strikers, but Lashings would believe otherwise and try their all. Skipper Raymond Reefer in at number 5 for strikers. The strikers had made it a habit of making it a dramatic game whenever they were chasing last season, and it was a dramatic finish yesterday as well. Watchfully defended by the skipper, back towards bowler. Tidy finish by Ellie Hutchinson. A successful over. After a couple of boundaries, he made a pretty important incision. He has figures of 1 for 25 of his 3 overs. Strikers 89 for 3 after 13. Leg spin from right arm around the wicket that beats the batter and the keeper. I'm waiting for a signal from the umpire. That is 4 byes plus a wide. A pretty costly start from Rajpi. Again going down low for the sweep. Does Mishra. This time he gets a lot of bat on that. It beats the man running back from short fine leg for 4. This is a pretty costly start to the over. 4 byes and a wide at the first ball. 4 runs struck at the bat of the second as Mishra moves to 23 of 15 balls. Those two driven into the covers for a single by Reefer. The equation's getting friendlier by the second. 8 runs of 4.1 overs needed now. Adada shapes for the reverse. He gets a nice bit of wood on that, but it goes straight to the man in the deep at conventional sweeper cover. That is a single to end the over. 5 singles in the wide of Rajub's second over. He's got figures of 1 for 17 after 2. Strikers 115 for 4 in 16. They are poised for a second win on the bounce, just 7 runs away from victory. 4 overs and 6 wickets in the bank. Ellie Hutchinson about to bowl his 4th over. He's got 7 runs to defend. Can he price out 1 more wicket? Can Lashings show a little bit more fight before the close? Attempted slap by the batter, finding more edge than middle. Back towards the bowler for a dot. Strikers have plenty of balls left to get these 7 runs, but they would want to finish it quickly to get a boost on their net run rate. They got a win last night, but that was of the last ball, so they would want to use this opportunity to carve out a bit of net run rate gain for their side. Beats the attempted defensive shot. Couple of dot balls by Elmore Hutchinson. Good start to the 17th over. A lot of activity around the ground as the teams for the next game are here limbering up. It's Blazers were Grizzlies right after this one. What looked like a slower ball from Elmore Hutchinson that was hit towards long on by Adara for a single. 6 needed now of 3.3 overs. Can skipper Ray Reefer try and finish this off with one mighty blow? He's been dealing in singles primarily until this moment. Bashed into the wicket. Reefer goes for a big pull shot. He does oblige with a big 6. That is some way to finish the match. This time bowled into the wicket by Ellie Hutchinson. Reefer was camping on his back foot. Launched into a mighty pull shot. Handsome way to finish the game. A second victory on the bounce for Strikers. They take this win by 6 wickets. A lot less dramatic compared to the win last night. Last night they won a cliffhanger of the last ball. This time winning by 6 wickets with 20 balls in the bank. Strikers sitting pretty now with 2 wins on the bounce at Tarika. This is the 3rd win at this ground. 1 win last year and a couple of wins this season. Lashings had a win yesterday against San Diego. Today, a slightly solid defeat against the Strikers. It has been an entertaining game from both sides. As the players troop out to exchange handshakes, let's take a look at the scorecard. Strikers won the toss and invited Lashings to bat first. They were set a target of 122 to win. Even contributions across the top 3. Kamran Hotak being an all-round man in this game. 31 of 28 with the bat at the top order. Amog Arepalli, sprightly, 28 of 28. Shivam Mishra with 24 from just 16 balls. Plenty of boundaries. And Raymond Reefer and Tarun Adara putting on the finishing touches with a 20-plus partnership at the end to see the strikers home by a comfortable 6 wickets. Let's take a look at the bowling card for the Lashings. They didn't have too many runs to play with. 120 is always going to be a tough total to defend. They tried hard. Elmore Hutchinson with a wicket with his left arm pace, and Achilles Brown striking twice in the middle overs to give the Lashings some hope after that opening partnership. But eventually 121 wasn't going to be enough. Lashings have 1 win and 1 defeat so far from their 2 games. Let's take a look at the game summary, please. That's the summary for the game. Lashings posting 121 for 7 after 20 overs. The most dramatic phase in that batting innings was when Netravalkar struck 4 times in the 5th to 6th over, and Zazai followed that up with another strike right off. So Lashings were hopping at 5 for 26 after a steady opening stand, and then Achilles Brown and Hotak did a rebuilding job in the middle overs to give them some hope. They took them to 121 for 7 eventually, and strikers eventually a comfortable win by 6 wickets. All-round hands from Achilles Brown for Lashings. All-round contributions from Hotak, 31, and he also bowled a few overs. Strikers take their 2nd win. And that concludes our game. We thank all the viewers who were on the stream through this morning and afternoon. Wherever you are, good afternoon, good day. We will be back online shortly for the 2nd game of this double-header. As we speak, the East Bay Blazers and the San Ramon Grizzlies are limbering up. Look forward to seeing you folks pretty soon. We thank you all. We thank the teams for a pretty stirring cricket contest. We thank the broadcasting crew, Bibu and Bala, for helming the broadcast. We thank the teams again for putting on a good show. This is your commentator, Hari Venkatramani, signing off. See you folks at the 2nd game in about 20 minutes or so. Have a nice one.